Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we do actually have an early look at the upcoming LeBron 8 in the South Beach Colourway. Now before we get into all with that, I want to welcome back any of my returning subscribers, and if you are new around here and this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, my name is Aiden, and on this channel we do release brand new sneaker content just like this each and every week. So do make sure to smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, make sure that bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. But with all that aside, if we now just go ahead and get into the intro. So before we go ahead and actually dive into the review, like we always do, let's just take a quick look at the shoebox. Now, as you can see across the top, we do have LeBron James alongside the lion's head. The lion is pretty synonymous with LeBron James's brand, so it's pretty evident and pretty visible throughout most of his releases. Just underneath this, we do then have that Nike swoosh in the corner. If we then take a quick look at the label, which reads Nike LeBron 8 QS in the retro black pink flash colorway. Now, this is in a UK size 9, as you'll be able to see from the size label. And also, for any of you that, are regular customers of End, this is part of, what End do. They always slap a barcode on the side. And fortunately enough for me, I did manage to cop these on End Shock Drop. I'm really excited to get into it. So with all this aside, if we now just go ahead and jump straight in. And here we have it, guys. In hand, we have the LeBron 8 in the South Beach colorway. Now, for those of you that don't already know, just to provide a bit of context, this official colorway did release all the way back in 2010 for the very first time. This shoe for me is one of, if not the best shoe from his line. Definitely the best colorway at least, and I'm just really excited to actually not only have this shoe, but to have it early. So if we just jump straight into the shoe, if we start out with the uppers. Now, the upper is actually a combination of a few different types of material. So on the underlay, we do actually have the Flywire 2.0 in that turquoise colour. And then this is then overlaid with this really nice synthetic tumbled leather. One of the things that really caught my eye as soon as I actually got this out of the box, other than the fact that, the colours are really, really vibrant, is the actual sectioning from heel to toe or toe to heel. Now, around the actual toe itself, we do have that synthetic leather. Really plush, really soft underhand. And even though it is synthetic, it's, in my opinion, a really good quality. Really impressed with it, got absolutely zero complaints. But then if we move slightly further back the shoe, we have a section for the Flywire, so you can actually feel the wires underneath this plastic material. Feels really weird. I can't think of any other shoe that actually has Flywire that I've had. I know there's a few different variations, so there's the initial first generation Flywire, then there's Flywire 2.0, which is what I believe they use for this shoe. But it feels really interesting. I'm not sure specifically what its purpose is, so if you guys know, do make sure to let me know in the comments. And then if we do move even further back, we do have more of that synthetic leather with the perforations for extra airflow. And then as we reach the heel portion of the upper, we do have that black Nike swoosh. I really love the swoosh on this shoe, looks absolutely incredible, almost wraps into the heel, which I really do like. Now, the swoosh itself does actually sit atop more of that Flywire like what we saw earlier on in the shoe. And then if we swing over to the medial side, starting out with the toe portion again, as you can see, we do actually have this Nike swoosh. It kind of looks like it's been pressed into the leather and then had this like gel coating placed on top of it. Looks really nice detail for the shoe. And then moving further back on the medial side, we have more holes for ventilation. And then at the heel portion, once again, we do actually have a very, very small cutout at the bottom, which actually shows that the shoe does have Flywire. But if we then just continue to move down the shoe, as you can see, we have this all black midsole, which is made from Phylon. The midsole itself does sit atop this full-length air unit. And then switching to the outsole of the shoe, we do have a semi-icy outsole, a hit of fuchsia on the lion's head under the midfoot. And just underneath the heel, we do have this white hourglass detailing. Now, it is actually worth mentioning that this hourglass does actually have Phylon injected into it. This is done directly underneath the air unit for added comfort. I don't have any other LeBrons to compare this to, so I don't really want to say that it is more comfortable than any other LeBron, but it's pretty comfortable when you do actually get these on feet. If we move back into the center of the shoe, as you can see, we do have more of that fuchsia color on the shoelaces. The laces are actually fed through this synthetic nubuck on either side. Pretty decent texture to it. It does actually have kind of like a tumbling effect as well, which looks really nice. And then the laces themselves do actually sit atop a black mesh tongue. If we then move up the laces to the top of the tongue in the center, we do have the lion's head detailing. I really like the tongue because if you actually do look over the actual top of the tongue, we do have that fuchsia color. Really ties in really well with what we saw on the outsole and the laces. Now you do actually get an additional set of laces as well, as you can see. I personally wouldn't actually swap the laces out. I feel like the laces are one of the main reasons as to why the shoe is what it is. You know, that massive pop of pink in the middle of the shoe. I feel like if you were to tone it down with black laces, it's just not going to work as well, but it's really up to you how you decide to wear it. If we then just take a look at the back portion of the tongue, we do actually have this tongue tab with that almost biohacked stitching around the edges. Now the tab actually reads, designed and engineered to the exact specifications of Mr. LeBron James, 82-8. I'm not exactly sure what the 82 refers to, so any of you guys that know what that means, do make sure to let me know in the comments below. But if we then just take a look around the actual ankle collar of the shoe, as you can see, we do have more of that really nice turquoise leather. Moving inside the shoe, we do have this all black sock liner, which is incredibly well padded. It feels absolutely amazing on feet. To me, it kind of feels like it actually locks in your feet. I'm not sure if that's the same for everybody, but as soon as I actually managed to get these on, because it's infamously difficult to actually put on the LeBron 8, so when I actually did get it on, I just felt like I was immediately locked into the shoe, and kind of like the laces were just there for sure. So much padding, it feels really nice underfoot. There's so much structure to the shoe as well, so I imagine that if you were playing in this, you'd be absolutely fine. But if you are wearing it like me, casually for everyday lifestyle purposes, it's just going to feel absolutely incredible. One of the things that I do want to mention though, because of the fact that it does lock in your actual ankle, and to me at least, it actually felt like it was pushing my foot forward. This shoe going true to size was a really bad decision. A lot of people were telling me to go a half size up at least. Unfortunately, I didn't speak to those people until I already put in my order. So when I did actually finally get these on feet, I noticed it was far too tight, especially around the toe. I kind of felt like I was losing the sensation in my feet. Really tight and really clustered towards the front end. So in terms of the overall sizing for the shoe, I'm genuinely disappointed that the size 9 is far too tight. So I'm going to recommend, even if you are a narrow footer, go at least a half size up. If you are a wide footer like me, I'm going to say go at least a full size up, because I like a lot of room around the toe, and I don't think a half size is going to cut it. This genuinely feels like it could be a size 8 or a 7.5 to me. It just feels that tight. I had to completely unlace the shoe to get it on properly and actually not feel like I was going to die for wearing it. Really disappointed that the size 9 isn't going to work for me, but hopefully I can move this on and get a size 10. Not sure if I'm going to wait for the official release date, or if I'm actually going to jump over to StockX and just pick a size 10 up. But yeah, if you are watching this to try and decide what size to go with, definitely go a half size up at least. But if we then move even further into the shoe to take a look at the insole, I'm just going to take out the laces. Hopefully the camera is actually going to be able to pick it up. We do have more of that fuchsia colour on the insole. Now, I was actually going to try and take out the insole so you guys could actually see it in more detail, but unfortunately, it's pretty well glued down and I didn't want to rip it.
Alrighty then.
Now, unfortunately, this shoe isn't without its imperfections. There's things about it that definitely could have been improved on, and one of those things is the overall craftsmanship. Unfortunately, there's glue stains everywhere. Overall, it just looks pretty sloppy, but especially on this shoe, the right shoe, this is where all the major issues are. I was taking some pictures of it, and when I was doing the pictures, it almost looked like the midsole was separated from the rest of the upper. So yeah, really disappointing in terms of the overall quality control. Doesn't take too much away from me because I'm trying to stay positive because of how much I like the shoe, which I probably shouldn't be doing. I should try and stay impartial. But I'm hoping that, you know, when I do get another pair in the future, or any of you guys that are watching it, this video I should say, hopefully your pair's a little bit better in terms of the QC. But we all know by now exactly what Nike's like for quality control. It's pretty non-existent.
It's true.
But if we then just move over to the heel of the shoe, as you can see around the heel, we do actually have this spoiler detailing. To me, it kind of gives me Huarache vibes, and the material that they've used kind of feels like rubber. So kind of once again leaning into that Huarache style. Really like the detail, like I mentioned earlier, the fact that the swoosh leans into this, like, you know, spoiler. So really like how this looks. And then just underneath that, we do actually have this ballistic mesh with the LeBron signature and Nike swoosh. And I think other than that, we've just about covered everything that I want to speak about in terms of the upper of the shoe and the overall materials. So if we now just go ahead and wrap this video up. So just to wrap up this video, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, in terms of rating, I'm going to give this shoe a very respectable 9.5 out of 10. I really would have given this shoe a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't discriminating against my wide feet. But unfortunately, I'm just going to have to give it a 9.5. I absolutely love everything about the shoe, the colour and how vibrant it is. You know, the materials they've used feel really nice. Not the most premium, it's not the most, you know, expensive looking shoe in the world, but they feel really nice. I feel like it's going to perform really well if you do actually get your correct size. And the overall aesthetics of it is just absolutely incredible. But I'd love to know your guys' opinions as well. Is this going to be a must cop, or is this something you're going to pass on? Do make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. So if you stuck around to this point in the video, I want to say a massive thank you. Do make sure to smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, make sure that bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one.